If the rate of expansion 1 second after the Big Bang had been smaller by even one part in 100,000 million, it would have recollapsed before it reached its present size. On the other hand, if it had been greater by a part in a million, the universe would have expanded too rapidly for stars and planets to form. That's by Stephen Hawking. That's our quote of the day, and this is Access the PodQuest. Okay, so let's have some fun. Every once in a while, we got to do that, right? And we got to enter into a little bit of speculation here. And I'm very much dedicated to the science, the rule of science, also, rigorous philosophical rules and applications. But every once in a while, I also like to keep my mind extremely active and have a little fun and speculate. That's what this is about. Our topic of the first topic today is: could aliens be using dark energy to save the universe? All right. Basically, the question is, could advanced life forms somewhere out there be creating or using what science refers to as dark energy in order to prevent the universe from slowing down and eventually reversing direction and crashing in on itself? All right. Again, pure speculation warning. There's no evidence for this. I've barely seen anything else out there about it. There's a Reddit. We'll post that on our website at some point. There's also a Wired.com story that touches a little bit about it. But basically, this is something that I've just been thinking about, and I can't find any real support for it. But I think it makes a little bit of sense, at least to think about. Something kind of food for thought. Let's start out by asking the question: what is dark energy? All right, and I'm going to go to a source for that, as opposed to just giving you the explanation myself. This is from science.nasa.gov. All right, and it's defining dark energy as the following. Ready? Some 13.8 billion years ago, the universe began with a rapid expansion we call the Big Bang. After the initial expansion, which lasted a fraction of a second, gravity started to slow the universe down. But the cosmos wouldn't stay this way. 9 billion years after the universe began, its expansion started to speed up, driven by an unknown force that scientists have named dark energy. But what exactly is dark energy? The short answer is we don't know. But we do know that it exists. It's making the universe expand at an accelerating rate, and approximately 68.3 to 70% of the universe is dark energy. And again, that's from science.nasa.gov, and it gives you that real general framework. I'm going to pick it up a little bit with space.com, a little bit more colorful on this explanation and background on dark energy. Ready? Here we go. Think of dark energy as the evil counterpart to gravity, an anti-gravity force providing a negative pressure that fills the universe and stretches the very fabric of space-time. As it does so, dark energy drives cosmic objects apart at an increasingly rapid rate, rather than drawing them together as gravity does. Dark energy is estimated to account for around 68 to 72% of the universe's total energy and matter. Its energy budget, so to speak, meaning it's heavily dominated both by dark matter and everyday matter. No, I'm sorry. Let me read that last part again. Meaning it heavily dominates both dark matter and everyday matter. So it really is the most dominant thing in the universe that is dark energy. So what's happening here is that dark energy is expanding our universe and doing so faster than it was before. Generally speaking, everything slows down. And it continues to slow down. Like, for instance, if you take this pen that I'm holding in my hand and I throw it against the wall, right at the start, it's going to start picking up speed, and then it's going to start slowing down and slowing down and slowing down until eventually either it hits the wall or it doesn't, and it just drops. So that's everything that we know of. And everything works that way. There's nothing that doesn't, except for the universe itself. And that's where it's so strange. It started out, like they say in the quotes I just read, it started out that way, but then about halfway to the wall, let's say, around 9 billion years ago, it started to pick up speed again and went faster and faster and faster until now it's continuing that path. It's going faster and faster still. So everything except for the universe goes in an orderly fashion, but then we have dark energy, which is now making this rate go faster. So, you know, we have to figure there had to be some energy source, something that was doing this expanding, and that's where scientists have come up with the idea of dark energy. But that begs the question: well, then why did I even think of this subject that for today's discussion, which is, well, are aliens or advanced life forms somehow using dark energy to save the universe? And the idea there is this: is that if there was no, let's do kind of a little bit of a thought experiment. Let's assume that the Earth, all right, existed 9 billion years ago, or a little bit before 9 billion years ago. And we were all alive during that time. Of course, we weren't, but let's assume that's the case. All right. Well, if that were this case, we would then know, and let's say we were using our modern technology at the time, we would know that the universe is slowing down just like everything else. All right. That's what fits the facts. All right. If that were the case, we would think, uh-oh, eventually there's going to be a massive crash because gravity is going to pull everything together again, and it's going to eventually get back into a speck, and then boom, that's the end of everything. The universe then, explodes, or doesn't, it kind of explodes back in on itself in what they refer to as a big crunch. All right, we would know that, and so we would be like, okay, that's going to be the end of the universe. We better do something about that in order to stop it. Kind of like we're thinking nowadays to stop asteroids from hitting the Earth, we got to do something to stop that. Maybe at that time, 9 billion years ago, if we were advanced enough, we would think, how can we stop the universe from crashing in on itself? Because eventually that's going to cause the death of everything. All right? And so we might very well think, what can we do? We would have to come up with some type of a repulsive force against gravity, an anti-gravity, force of some sort, an energy drive, if you will. And that's exactly what dark energy is. So that's where I'm putting it together. I'm thinking, well, maybe 9 billion years ago, as everything was starting to slow down, there was an advanced form of life that did just that. And it said, you know what, we got to save this universe. We got to stop this from happening. And so therefore, we using whatever technology they had at the time, obviously well advanced of what we know of now, but perhaps something that we can develop later in our existence. They would have used, created or used the existing energy of the vacuum of space or whatnot in order to make space move faster and expand further and faster so that it wouldn't cause a crash. Now, naturally, that adds a complexity to it it adds a complexity to the overall universe cosmos situation, because if you're expanding it faster and faster, then eventually you're going to run into a problem the other way, right? But I don't know too much about that. Obviously, I haven't given that much thought. But you're eventually going to run into a problem where you're expanding it so fast that it's going to end in not a big crash, but this what they refer to as a big chill, because everything's so far apart from each other. There's really no universe to speak of. But that might be something that this advanced technology, advanced civilization back 9 billion years ago would have thought of. Well, you know what? We're going to deal with it later, or maybe they had a better idea. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there again for a little bit of fun, a little bit of speculation to see whether or not, this has any idea. Let me know what your thoughts are on it. I've not heard anybody even talking much about it at all, or really anything at all. There was that Reddit. There might be maybe this story in Wired that might touch on quantum computers that alien technology might have developed. But again, just equally as speculative as what I'm talking about, maybe less so. But I don't know. Anyway, let me know. Go to accessthepodquest.com. Let me know your thoughts there. Give us comments, etc. Then come back here, as always. Come back to the YouTube. Give us a like. Give us share this video. Join. If you have not become a subscriber yet, there's 101 subscribers. Let's go. Let's get some more people. You join and get your friends to join, etc. And also give us those comments on the YouTube video, because that's another way that we can interact on this. What do you think? Could aliens be using dark energy to save the universe? I don't know. Let us know. It's something that I really want to know as we go ever forward.